It's a minute gone past 9 a.m. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on today's edition of News Punch on Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin, where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. I am BABAFEMI ADESOYE. Here are the news making the waves across the world. In Nigeria, the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has extended the deadline for the collection of permanent voter cards until Saturday, January 29, 2023. INEC earlier fixed the collection deadline as Sunday, 22nd January 2023. After a meeting on Thursday, INEC said it had pushed the deadline by 8 days. INEC National Commissioner Festus Okoye, who said this in a statement, also disclosed that over 100,000 PVCs were collected in some states since the Commission took the collection of PVCs to wards on the 6th of January. The presidential candidate of Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has declared that he will end industrial action in Nigerian universities and other tertiary institutions, a situation he claimed had crippled tertiary education in the country. Obi spoke at the University of Niger Nsukka Business Interactive session titled State of the Nigerian Economy, The Way Forward, held at the Central Bank of Nigeria auditorium at the Enugu campus of UNN. The former governor of Anambra State pledged that once he becomes the president, the Academic Staff Union of Universities strike will be a thing of the past. In the United States, a number of classified documents have been found at the United States President Joe Biden's residence in the state of Delaware. The White House has confirmed, saying the files were turned over to the Department of Justice. White House Special Counsel Richard Silber said that documents with classified markings that date back to Biden's time as vice president were found in the garage at the now president's home in Wilmington, Delaware. An additional one-page document was found in a room adjacent to the garage, Silber said in a statement. Silber said the Department of Justice was immediately notified after the documents were located, and department lawyers took custody of the records. And in sport, FIFA has announced candidates for 2022 Men's Best Coach, Goalkeepers, Puskars, and among other awards in a post on its website on Thursday. Public voting for the winners will run until 3rd February 2023. FIFA will announce the 3 finalists in each of the categories listed above in early February this year. That's all we have for you on this edition of News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we bring you the analysis of the stories for this week. Please do stay tuned.
From news to sports, current affairs to entertainment, beautiful music, amazing programs, we got you all covered at Diamond 88.7 FM.
The major talking point in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead, and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, they want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
right, you're welcome back to the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM in Loring, a production of the News and Current Affairs Department of your shining Supreme Station. Now let's get into the analysis of some of the major stories from the week. To do this with me this morning is Mr. Olanrewaju Lawal, a public affairs analyst and social commentator. He's also the choir officer of Budget Track. Good morning, Mr. Olanrewaju Lawal.
Yeah, good morning, Dedon. Good morning to all our listeners home and abroad.
I must say Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, I wish you the same.
And I think it's been a very long time since I've hosted you on this show. I think about 8 months or thereabouts.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Okay, well, let's get into the analysis of the stories. Taking a look at the first story for this Friday, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has extended the deadline for the collection of permanent voter cards until Sunday, the 29th of January 2023. INEC earlier fixed the collection deadline as Sunday, 22nd January 2023. But now, you've been on the field working on the PVC collection drive. Tell us what your experience has been like.
Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, Happy New Year to all our listeners. And we hope this year will be the year we'll make the right decision politically.
Amen.
It's a hope, not a prayer.
Yes, you are hoping, but I'm turning it into a prayer. That's why I said amen.
Yeah. So, well, it's been a mixed bag of results. Citizens have experienced a myriad of challenges, ranging from non-availability of the PVCs. In some instances, we have scanty crowds. That is, people not turning up, waiting for the 11th hour. And then we also have reports of, though I've not personally experienced that, we also have reports of INEC officials in some states demanding for gratification before carrying out their official duties. But like I said, I didn't see that myself. They are still unconfirmed, even though we've got video evidences in some states. So that's why I said it is a mixed bag of results. However, I would like to encourage INEC to do more. Like the proverbial Oliver Twist would always ask for more, because now the citizens are more awake, especially the youths. They are more awake, and they know that political choices have consequences on their day-to-day living. So for all citizens who are yet to collect their PVCs, don't look at these challenges. Go out there. It is at the ward levels now. Go out there, queue, be orderly, and make sure you collect your PVCs and vote on the day of election for your preferred candidates. And as for the extension of the deadline, I will commend INEC, because it seems the cries of the citizen, of activists, and non-state actors, especially those of us in the civic space, for an extension of the deadline has been had by INEC. And I'm glad they are taking this decision, because January 22 will be too soon a date to be set as deadline. Let us hope that there will be no extension of the deadline again, and that a large proportion of the 93 million plus voters would have been able to collect their PVCs and will participate in this general election that is coming up next month.
All right, thank you very much. Well, let's categorize the number of people that have not yet collected their PVCs into two. Those that are not willing or that have been, how do I put it right now? Maybe probably busy or reluctant to collect it. And then those that have been trying to but have not been getting a headway.
I don't subscribe to those. I don't subscribe to being too busy, because on weekends INEC offices are open. So if you are so busy during the week, you should be able to dedicate a day during the weekend.
Out of 52 weekends of last year.
You know? So I don't subscribe to that narrative that they are too busy. if it is just a day or two, dedicate it to collection of your PVC.
Okay, because since let's say the reluctant people, and then the people that have not been lucky enough because of so many factors, especially they're having constraints at the point of collecting their PVCs. Now with this particular number, do we say INEC has planned this well enough?
Well, I'm not the spokesperson for INEC, but I can only speak from the outside. And your view from the outside is always different from your view when you are inside. However, the collection of PVCs, as it is synonymous with other facets of our national life, has been made so cumbersome and burdensome for the citizens. Now, I'm speaking as an outsider, observing. Because I don't understand why citizens who wake up as early as 5 a.m. get to INEC offices first when it was at the local government headquarters, before it was moved down to the wards. Citizens will wake up by 5 a.m. to go get their PVCs, and INEC officials will not report until around 10 a.m. It is absolutely uncalled for. That is one. So that's why I said the whole process from an outsider's view, we need to hear from INEC as well, their officials, because they themselves will also be facing some challenges.
Definitely.
So, but from an outsider's view, it is unacceptable for INEC officials to be getting to work around 10 a.m. They are working for the people. And I believe the resumption time should not be that 10 a.m. If it is officially, then it is wrong. Those are some of the things that we have seen on the field here in Kwara State and in some other reports that we've been getting from other states around the Federation.
Okay, thank you. Assessing the preparedness of INEC now, do you think the Commission is adequately equipped for the coming election?
Yes, by the reports we are getting, the new modifications that we are seeing, especially with the introduction of beavers, don't forget that very recently INEC submitted the voters register to representatives of the political parties in Abuja. I would say, I will give them the benefit of the doubt that they are prepared. And I hope that they've also factored in some what we call unforeseen exigencies, especially on the day before and during the election. However, the processes that have led up to this point, INEC has been able to, so far so good, successfully navigate some of these challenges. Don't forget the process of then when they did the CVR, the continuous voter registration, they extended it also. The deadline they gave before, they extended it again just to accommodate more and more people. And this is where the nonchalance attitude of our people comes into play. Nigerians are so used to the 11th hour rush, and we need to change our mindset. We need to change our orientation about that. Once an exercise has been declared, it is expedient for us to be early birds, to take it up. It is a civic responsibility, a duty.
I think the only thing we do well is maybe population census, because the officials will have to come to our homes. That's the only time we can say, yes, we have a good track record of participation of citizens.
But so far so good. From all our observations on the field, I would say they are prepared, except there are unforeseen circumstances that might arise, and I believe the management and the staff of INEC would have factored in some of these things and would have prepared, contingency plans to mitigate against such unforeseen circumstances or challenges.
All right, thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin. Now we'll go on a very short commercial break, and then when we come back, yes, we'll continue with the show.
dreams of owning a home in an organized, well laid out, secured environment with 24-hour stable electricity and portable drinking water is within your reach. Grab this once in a lifetime opportunity as Las Vegas Imperial Estate offers for sale 50 plots of land measuring 450 square meters per plot at 8 million naira. That is a massive 2 million naira off the normal rate of 10 million naira per plot. This end of the year promo lasts from November 10, 2022 to January 31st, 2023. Payments can be made in installments within these 3 months, while outright payments attract a 5% discount. Las Vegas Imperial Estate is located right behind Kwara State House of Assembly Complex, overlooking the Asta Dam water. For inquiries, contact 0806-286-5734 or 0803-046-1993. Las Vegas Imperial Estate, luxury and comfort.
For up-to-date news reported across the globe, be rest assured you're on the right radio dial. Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, your shining supreme station.
The major talking point in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, no kill us for Nigeria. Please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can you hold in the mean? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
All right, you're welcome back. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. And then we've been talking about the extension of the deadline for the collection of PVCs by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Now we move to another story. The Nigerian government has profiled 3,000 cases of terrorism through the Ministry of Justice. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, SAN, gave the figure on Thursday. He noted that over 1,500 cases were prosecuted with 397 convictions realized. Now, what is your own assessment of the current security situation in the country?
I think we've spoken so much about the worsening insecurity situation in the country. I would prefer we move away from the problems. Excuse me. I would prefer we move away from the problems and proffer solutions. That is, if the government is willing to take on advice from the citizens. However, if the Attorney General is coming out now at the twilight of this administration to tell us they have over 1,000 cases and only 397 convictions, that's abysmally low. That's number one. Number two is that these cases are not given enough coverage by the media. Why? That's another question they need to answer. Are they having what we call audio prosecution that we don't see, we don't hear about? And this is a government this is an administration that has gone round. They've spent how many months now talking about their scorecard, and yet insecurity is worsening, and now we are coming. They're just sound bites to me, especially coming from that office. They're just sound bites to me. Let them itemize these convictions. Because these terrorists are enemies of the country. They are enemies of the state. Why are we shielding them? Why can't we name and shame them? if we can glorify good deeds, why can't we name and shame the bad deeds? Because it sends out a message to the populace that crime doesn't pay. But if we do it hush, there's no media coverage, we don't have enough information about it to the populace, then it sends a wrong signal that you can do it and get away with it. So if you are getting,
that means it encourages more people to do evil.
It will encourage more people to go into crime and criminality. Look at the case of kidnapping. It started in a small section of the country. Now it has engulfed almost the entire country. There's no single geopolitical zone now where you don't have kidnapping. And it is not limited to not just one section, not just one tribe. Now everybody is in on it. Why? Because those who are perpetrating it seem to get away with it. And I think, well, if this is coming up now, I hope they can double up their efforts. At least increase their scorecard. That 397 out of 1,000 is abysmally low. It is abysmally low. And we need to name and shame. Unless, of course, they are too powerful to be named and shamed.
All right, thank you very much. There have been claims from some quarters that the 2023 elections may be postponed because of insecurity, although INEC and the federal government have always debunked this. Do you think it is a possibility?
Well, never rule out anything. Never say never. Don't forget the election that brought in this administration in 2015 was also postponed for 6 weeks. We went from February. It was supposed to be held in February.
I think 14th of February.
Yes. All the way to March 28th. Then the slogan was fair, the name of the president to march for. That was what happened then. And don't forget, then we had just 6 local governments. They were controlled by insurgents. And there was postponement. Now we have insurgency in different sections of the country. So I'm not
almost all the states.
Yes, I'm not ruling that out. However, as gallant as the efforts of the armed forces are, and I think they are stretched thin, I'm sending my commendation and encouragement to them to do more. I know they are putting their life on the line, and God will vindicate them at the end. However, the government should also support them more than they've been doing, so that we don't come up with all of these excuses over and over again. But if it is going to be postponed, it is far, far better than cancellation, because that will create a constitutional crisis. So if it will be postponed due to insecurity for other measures to be put in place, well, so be it. It has happened before, and Nigeria did not implode. So if that is the solution, as it were, well, good luck to them.
All right, thank you very much. As it is right now, let's maybe get a few reactions from our listeners. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a part of this conversation, all you just need to do right now is to send us a message via WhatsApp 0913 655 6864 0913 655 6864. And you can also join the conversation on Twitter. Tweet at Diamond887FM, CC at Don Femi King with the hashtag Diamond Breakfast Show. Let's have your own opinion, your point of view, and of course your disposition, or even maybe your reservation about what we've been discussing. Okay, so moving over to our final story right now. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has vowed to sanction any commercial bank holding the new Naira notes from the public. According to CBN, monitoring of commercial banks has commenced in order to know those who are not giving the new Naira notes to customers. Well, my first question will be, what exactly is the reason the commercial banks would want to hoard the new Naira notes? Because this is the simple scenario. A lot of them have been opening on Saturdays and Sundays, to be able to get in the old cash, the old currency, and then only for them to disburse this same old notes on Monday through Fridays. What exactly is the reason commercial banks are hoarding the new Naira notes?
I think that question will be best answered by both the CBN and the Committee of Bankers. Because, Femi, it is surprising to see that after December 15th, when the new notes were supposed to be in circulation, I visited an ATM vending machine at Tanke Junction. Maybe about 5 or 6 days after that, prior to Christmas, and I was surprised. I put in my card, and it brought out the old notes. I was like,
still in Nigeria?
Yes, is it supposed to be or not? And even till now, I've not handled the new 500 and 200 Naira note. I have not handled it at all. I've only seen the 1,000. And that 1,000, I got it from a POS merchant. You see, the banking sector itself is not helping matters. For example, I will give a very, very clear example. Tanke Junction in Ilorin here. You see, I don't want to mention the banks, but all of us in Ilorin know what I'm talking about. Tanke Junction. You see more than 12 ATM vending machines across different banks. More than 12. Maybe 1 or 2 will have cash inside of them. Now, across the road, you find POS merchants sitting there. They will even tell you, bros, don't go there. There's no money in that machine. Come. So how can vending machines of banks, commercial banks, they don't have cash, but POS merchants across the road have cash? And not just Tanke Junction. Of a garage road too. The same experience.
Even Challenge,
the same experience. So there's something wrong about the system. And there are saboteurs within the system. So much such that ATM machines will run out of cash and POS vendors will have abundance of cash. And in close proximity. And I'm talking about during the day, not even in the night. During the day. When people are supposed, not weekends or working days, when people are supposed to be on their jobs, monitoring these vending machines, know when this cash runs out, and then load more in there. And it beggars belief when you look at the essence of POS, point of sale, terminals. It is to drive the cashless economy. You take your debit card there, you make purchases, you are not with cash, you give them your debit card, they deduct from there. But now we have turned POS vendors into cash vendors. It is appalling, to say the least. We are turning logic on its head, because when POS now begins to issue cash instead of ATM machines, then something is wrong with the system. And we need to look critically at it, because that is not the way it is done elsewhere. You take your debit card somewhere because you are not carrying cash, and you pay for whatever you want to pay for. That is what drives the cashless economy. And this digital footprint helps the regulatory agencies to monitor all these transactions. But in Nigeria, we have turned it the other way around. Now, ATM machines don't have cash. It is POS vendors that have cash. When this POS should not even be a business, it should be at business centers.
Where you're making purchases.
Where you're making purchases of goods and services. And then you use your debit card to pay. So that you don't go around with cash. But in the country, it is the other way around. Why are we like this?
Okay, well, let's quickly get to pay some bills more. And then when we come back, yes, we'll definitely continue with the Diamond Breakfast Show. Please stay tuned.
man knows Nigeria, understands the people, and knows how to get Nigeria back on the road to growth. His capacity to navigate numerous industries towards growth and expansion is tested and trusted. No one needs to show Atiku Abubakar how to move Nigeria forward through challenges and onto greatness. He already has a sure plan, a strategist in entrepreneur and job creator. Atiku Abubakar knows Nigeria, knows our people, and knows the world. Atiku for sure. PDP! Power to the people! Sponsored by the Atiku Okowa Organizing for Action.
For up-to-date news reported across the globe, be rest assured you're on the right radio dial. Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, your shining supreme station.
All right, you're welcome back. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. Do not forget you can join the conversation via WhatsApp. That's 0913 655 6864. 0913 655 6864. You can also tweet at Diamond 887 FM, CC at Don Femi King. Okay, I have a message right here already on WhatsApp. This one is talking about, says, good morning, Femi, and your guest in the building. Trust your night was awesome. Yes, Mayor from Basin, for the extension date of collection of PVCs. Well, to me, it's good, but honestly, your guest has mentioned it. People should stop this attitude of rush hour, and that boils down to individuals of us, and most of us first change if we did what we're supposed to do at the right time. It's not today that the government has been advertising on radio, but Nigerians love rush hour attitude. So for me, start from you and me. Okay. And then it says on the aspect of security, well, this is one of the aspects of which government needs to do more. It is so painful recently that Mr. President was saying he had tried to stop Boko Haram and others. Well, for me, this present administration has done nothing in the aspect of security. In fact, it's becoming worsening day by day. Kidnapping is the new business in town. So my conclusion is government should critically look at this aspect of insecurity, because a secured nation is a peaceful nation. Mayor from Basin. All right, thank you very much, Mayor from Basin. This one right here says, good morning, kudos to the analyst. The issue of ATM out of cash banks intentionally refuse... The issue of ATM out of cash. Banks intentionally refuse to load cash in the machine. I was at Unity yesterday at ATM point. 4 of the machines were out of cash. Olani from A Division. All right, thank you very much, Olani from A Division. This one says, good morning, presenter and the guest. I want to salute your guest, most especially on the new notes issue. He has spoken well. That's coming from Joshua Ogunlabi from Shakpati Ile. All right, thank you very much. Yes, we are still expecting more reactions from our listeners. 0913 655 6864 is the number to send your WhatsApp messages to. So now, the CBN is still insisting on its January 31st deadline for the withdrawal of the old notes. Larry, is this feasible?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As I'm speaking, I still have the old notes in my wallet. And I know my wife has got some at home or in her shop. The old notes. Now, think of those who are the unbanked, especially in the hinterland, in the rural areas. They will still push that. They will still extend. They will extend that deadline. If not, we are going to have a lot of people with, what is the right word to use now? We will still have a lot of people with useless banknotes.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. January 31st, I can bet it with you. You will see the mammoth crowd at the banks on the 31st of January. Though that is also partly due to our nonchalant attitude as a people. But that has been exacerbated by the money deposit banks, the commercial banks, loading their ATM vending machines with the old notes.
And even still taking it out of people to customers when you go into the bank right now, you are not so certain of getting new notes.
Femi, I will give you an example. Last year there was a circular by commercial banks that the United Kingdom changed their £20 and £50 notes from paper to polymer. Yes. If you remember.
Yes, I remember.
2022, last year. Do you know the deadline is December this year? That is UK. December this year is when the old paper notes, £20 and £50, will no longer be tenable. Nigerian banks now told their customers that they will no longer collect the old £20 and £50 notes from Nigerians. We are not living in the UK. From Nigerians here. Now think of our own legal tender. New notes were introduced into the system, into circulation, December 15th. And you are telling us by January 31st, it will no longer be tenable. It will no longer be a valid, a legal tender.
Just 45 days.
They should have a rethink. If not, there will be chaos. I know there's a target because they gave valid reasons. Over 80% of the money in circulation is out of the banking system. It is understandable. That constitutes security risk. We know that. But the deadline, they should have thought about this 2 years back, not now.
Not just a few days to the election.
To the general elections.
And a lot of people have been thinking that is it because of the fact that they want to mop out cash so that people will not have enough cash to
induce voters and all of that. I know. Yes. I said they have a specific. Now you've eventually made me say what I don't want to say. I know there's a specific target. We all know that. It is a laudable idea on paper, but the practicability and the timing is what I'm against. That is what I'm against. And now it is being exacerbated by commercial banks loading their vending machines with the old notes. You take the old notes into the banking hall to deposit into your account. Take your ATM card, go to the machine to withdraw. You still withdraw the same old notes. So it's an exercise in futility. And the system needs to be addressed. We cannot continue this way. It's just like taking from the left and giving back to the right. Taking from the right and giving back to the left. It's an exercise in futility. So there's no way the CBN... we're just moving and there's no movement. So the CBN needs to look at that policy again. And I believe, as we keep hammering on it, the CBN should listen and push and extend that deadline. But first and foremost, they need to, how will I put it? They need to put their foot down and sanction these commercial banks who put these old notes in their vending machines. That's number one. Then number two is that the CBN as well, and I believe they've got branches in every state in this country. At least I know there's CBN in Kwara.
Definitely.
Yeah. So now when these banks, these money deposit banks, what we call commercial banks, and other financial institutions that take cash from the people, mortgage banks, microfinance and all what, once they take their monies down to the CBN vault, the CBN should not release the old notes back to them. They should be releasing the new notes to these banks so that these banks will now load their vending machines with the new notes, and then Nigerians can have access to these new notes.
But for the CBN to have been saying that they have vowed to sanction any commercial bank holding the new notes from the public, don't you think they have been actually, how do I put it now, doing well on their own side of the job? They've been doing their side of the job, and then maybe it's just a commercial bank.
I'm not an insider in the CBN. I don't work in the CBN. Okay. I can only speak from the outside. You know, at the start of the show, I said your view from the outside is definitely going to be different from when you are inside.
Sure.
That's number one. Number two is that these banks, we need to start seeing sanctions on these banks for us to take the CBN. You say they vow. That is how they've been vowing. Government has always been vowing. They vow. How many times are they going to vow? So let's see these sanctions first. We don't want it to be audio sanctions. Let us see these sanctions first, and they should publicize it. They should name and shame. Why do we always cover bad deeds? Why do we always put it under wraps? It is wrong. Name and shame, so that people will know
and learn from it.
That is when people will take government serious and say, okay, government says this, and then we can take it to the bank and say, look, this. For example, there was a time. I want to remember the year specifically. I can't recollect, but there was a CBN policy that came out on a New Year's Eve, December 31st. I forgot the specific year, where to encourage this cashless policy, they said business entities, if you make purchases above 1,000 naira, that particular business entity will pay the stamp duty, 50 naira or something. Do you know those business entities took it on the customers? I went to buy some books for my kids at I won't mention the bookshop, along this route, along Emias Road.
Okay.
And I was to pay via POS. The man was telling me the purchases I made was over 3,000, and the man said I should add 15 naira. I said no. Why will I add 15 naira? CBN said anything above 1,000, that stamp duty will be borne by the business. The man said no, go and collect from POS, come and pay me my cash. That I cannot pay the 15 naira. I insisted that day that I will not pay that money. It became an argument. People, intervened, this, that. And it was even some Nigerians that were saying, this man, your wala is too much. I said, but this is what the government said. Didn't you listen to the news? Now, government, CBN, agencies of government should have people on the ground enforcing these things. You see, it is not that we don't have good policies or good laws. What we lack is the will to implement and follow through. That day when the noise was too much, and I know my kids needed these books, I had to go to the ATM machine to go and withdraw first, then come and pay in cash. What would I do?
So what if there was no ATM around? Maybe you would have been forced to pay the 50 naira. Or probably go to a POS where you're going to pay to get
more.
cash again.
Exactly. So that's why I said some of these policies, it is the implementation that is the problem, not the formulations of such policies. The policies may be good on paper. Yes. How do you follow through? How do you drive it through? That will is what is lacking. And we need to grow some balls.
All right. Thank you very much, Larry. I have a message here. This says, hello, Femi. Happy New Year. These banks are stockpiling the notes for their politician customers to aid vote buying. That's coming from Cooper from Ilorin. All right. Thank you very much, Cooper from Ilorin. Then we have another message right here. This says, good morning, House. If things are to work in this country, including insecurity, we all need to change our attitude. If all things are the fault of government, what about those kidnapping themselves and be demanding for ransom? We are all bad. That's coming from Isa Muhammad from Ilorin. Thank you so much, Isa Muhammad. All right, so, let's take more reactions over the phone lines right now. The number to call is 0913-655-6952. 0913-655-6952. Yes, you can still send in WhatsApp messages to 0913-655-6864. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Zil from Cherry School.
Dr. Zil, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Very good, thank you. So, yes, your contribution.
Yeah. I want to say, let me start with the CBN. In the first place, why did our CBN governor run away? That is to tell you that we put wrong people in the right place. And how can a CBN governor be contesting and later decided not to when people started? You can see. So, if you look at it, you cannot have a CBN politician who will think that, and is also working for the for the ruling party, and is also interested in what is going on in politics, and we expect him to do the right thing. It's not possible. And then when we are talking about every one of these leaders in their various places, check them out. They are not fit for the job. But we put them there in the name of one election or whatever or the other. At the end of the day, they are not sincere. So if you look at all of these things, that is why these problems keep coming and we keep talking. But we will not stop talking. And I want to tell you that what this money that we are talking about, do they want to tell us that they don't know that those ATMs that are lying fallow, they don't know that they are there? Well, because they brought in POS, and they want the POS people that they themselves are the one doing the business, that they only put people there, they want it to function. That's why you will see that in urban area like Ilorin here, like the guest in the studio said, you will see a POS person right in front of ATM machine.
ATM gallery, not even machine. Gallery, that means a lot of machines are there.
You just see them hanging around, and they will tell you before you even enter. One, I almost caught him. He was telling me that before I even go in, I should know that I said, what is wrong with your head? That go to the villages, that's where they do. So if you look at these things, it shows that there is a fundamental foundational problem that we have because we are putting wrong people in the right places. And for INEC know that they can get this thing done faster. But because the politicians that are also not, they don't want it to work well, they don't want INEC to do the right thing. If not, why is it that we cannot get our voters card the way we get our ATM card? So we know the right thing, but because of the evil-mindedness and the thing they want to do, they will not want it to work. Until we change our mindset in this nation, before the right thing can be done. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Zil. So Dr. Zil believes that for everything that is not working, there are some certain set of people that do not actually want it to work.
Absolutely.
Okay. 0913-655-6952 is the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
It's Ability calling from Garkombi.
Ability from Garkombi. How are you doing today, sir?
Very, very fine. And you too, sir?
Very good, thank you. So let's have your contribution.
All right. I think what the comrade said is very, very right. And I'm going with it. At a point early last year or 2 years ago, I went to purchase some cosmetics at the store. And I was told to have extra 15 naira charge for my transfer. I was like, what happened? He said, that's how it works. I was like, I'm transferring from my account, not to your account. Well, how would that happen? He said, that's the new CBN policy.
They've been doing it since 2019, yes.
Ask for extra charge for that. Now, concerning the CBN and the commercial banks, I think there's a problem and there's a lot of things they are hiding which they are not telling us. Because I believe at a point in time, the bank you are sanctioning, giving command to, are not responding to your command. There's something they refuse to tell us. And like I do tell my friends over the time we are discussing some matters as regarding this, I expose some facts, and there's a fact. I believe CBN is trying to shy away from the instruction they give. Because at a point in time, you are not ready to reverse or add any additional thing to what you've said. And those people that are still keeping this money, because I believe the reason why they did the new note was to curb some SSCs and the like. Those people that still have the money, they won't be able to spend. That was what you did. But at the end of the day, you still have additional day to eat because the money in circulation is still much. There's no new note. If I have to be sincere with you, I've seen that 1,000 maybe twice or once since ever it was written, which is very, very bad. And concerning the INEC too, INEC is giving us much problem and the government. Government will not do anything that will knock them down. Let me put it that way. Government will not do anything that will knock them down, but everything that will frighten and disturb the peace of the masses. There are people under the sun trying to get their voters' cards. They can't get it. All in the name of voting for people they love or people of their choice. There's a problem with INEC. And I think INEC seems to be independent, whereas government keep on feeding them. I think something should be done in that area too. Thank you. God bless the show.
All right, thank you very much, Ability from Garkombi. 0913-655-6952 is the number to call. Let's hear from you. Let's have your point of view, your own opinion, of course, your disposition. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Mr. Isa from Taiwo.
Your name again, please?
Mr. Isa from Taiwo.
Oh, Mr. Isa. Okay, how you doing?
Yes, I want to contribute my own. I keep saying it, that the kind of society we have, even if an idiot come down to rule this country, we will still have the problem we are having now. Why is it difficult for people to obey simple policy? We have a society, like you just as an example, there's a policy that where you back also to be deducted to be cleared by the seller. But they say no. Now, is it the man at Abuja that will come and make this man to correct? And he is aware. Nigeria is a very difficult country to rule. We can blame Buhari, we can blame governor, we can blame anybody because it's our right. But then we know the fundamental problem. Our society is difficult because all these people are blaming. They are not from another planet. They are the people we elect here. But we ourselves, our society is so hard and it's so difficult to rule. I pray God will help us in every area and in every area. Is it Buhari that has them not to free the ATM? Is it Buhari that has want to charge what is charging? Because the society is just doing the things that they will not want to do what is right. And the person that is not able to do what is right, it's very difficult for any government to succeed. Thank you. Thank you for my contribution.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Issa. God bless you. Just maybe one more call and then we call it a day on the show. I have another message right here saying, in the words of Dele Faro Timi, he says, those who earn 37 million naira a month are telling those who earn 18,000 naira a month that paying them 30,000 naira will lead to inflation. But the victims earning 18,000 naira monthly would happily kill and die in protection of the interests of those sodomizing them. We are not different in what Lagbaja has expressed us as in his music as 200 million mumus. Okay, thank you very much. No name, no location. But then 0913-655-6952 is the number to call. Yes, you can still. Okay, yes, we have another call right now. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Dr. Zil. I call back.
Oh, okay, yes.
I just want to say, you see the extension, this 31st deadline from CBN, it's not feasible. It's just like what INEC just did. They too will do their own, whether they like it or not. And the best thing they should do, because we are copying the Western world, they no deadline will be given so short the way we have given our own for new policy or currency change or whatever. What is happening from the people we are imitating? Maybe we should emulate instead of imitate. We should do the right thing, that we want to let the money be spent by river. So gradually the old road will fizzle out. Not this one that they are trying to do fire brigade approach. It will not work. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Zil. Thank you for calling back. Okay, this is exactly where we'll be saying a very big thank you to all our callers and then, of course, those sending messages to the WhatsApp platform. Thank you very much for joining the conversation. And then, of course, special thanks to our guest for coming around today, Mr. Olariwaju Lawal. We hope whenever we call you on you again, you're definitely obliged to be on the show.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
All right, thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we meet again on Monday by the special grace of God on the Diamond Breakfast Show by 9 a.m. Yes, with Bisola Uduwole Suleiman. Till then, my name is Babafemi Adesoye. Please stay tuned to Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. Bye for now.